Hello, everyone. We are here to discuss the IPL 2020, and this is a Playwright Foundation conversation. In the beginning, when the IPL was to start, we had the same team which you see on the screen now, Mr. Vijay Lokapally, veteran and brilliant sports journalist, and Mr. VRV Singh, former Indian player, former Test player, and one day player, and IPL player also. We are going to be having a very interesting discussion. I'm Vivek Atray, and what we are going to talk about is till now how the teams have performed. We have reached the stage where the first qualifier has been held between Mumbai and Delhi, which Mumbai has won easily. And today is the day when RCB and Hyderabad will lock horns and take on each other for the spot in the second eliminator, which will be basically against Delhi, because Delhi is the loser of the previous match last night. And whichever team wins this match from the third and fourth place teams, that is RCB and Hyderabad, they will play Delhi. So overall, it's been a very exciting IPL, and we've had a great, glorious matches. We've had some insipid and dull matches also. We've had more than 700 sixes, which is what IPL is about. And we've also had some fast bowlers taking lots of wickets. So BRB must be very happy about that. And I was listening to Brett Lee, who was extremely delighted that people like Trent Bolt and Rabada and Bumrah have done so well in picking up so many wickets. And 2020 cricket is also about ultimately about runs and wickets and catches. Ultimately, nothing much has changed in that sense. So I'm going to go to Mr. Lokapally first. Vijayji, what is your overview of this IPL till now? And then I'll go to VR.
Yeah, thank you very much for your kind words and having me on the show. And VRV, of course, I've seen him for so many years playing, and now it's a pleasure chatting with him on screen. वैसे तो हम बहुत गप्पे लगाते थे. I think this IPL has the best thing for me is that it has happened. There were speculations that IPL hoga ki nahi, but then it's so good to see the tournament. BCCI has pulled it off during this tremendously testing times. We were happy to see the series in England happening in Bio Bubble, and BCCI has gone ahead and pulled off the world's best franchisee league, and we have got some, like you said, some insipid but some very exciting matches. Some very exciting talent have people have got to see, especially those who don't get to watch domestic cricket, so they can see some of these youngsters on screen. So I think it's been a very fascinating tournament. But like I said, the most important thing is that this IPL took place.
Very true, very true. I totally agree with you. And that was the fear that we may not have any sports. And now at least we have had some sports this year. Wimbledon, my favorite, was the one which got cancelled. The Olympics got postponed. But French Open took place, US Open took place. Test match cricket took place in England and will take place in Australia. And the IPL has taken place. Even the women's IPL tournament has also started. So, VRV, what are your views overall about this year?
Yes, definitely. As Vijay sir said, we are happy actually that IPL has happened already and we are into final stages now. So overall, it was, quite early on. There were quite rustiness in all the teams, but all the team took off quite well after a couple of games. And as far I enjoyed actually, as you said earlier, that enjoyed a lot of fast bowling, especially from Delhi Capitals and Trent Bolt, Mohammad Shami, and particularly last night again, best bowler of India right now, Bumrah. So I was very excited to see all these fast bowlers doing very well this season. And wickets are also little helpful. They have little bit of skid and bounce, so which can trouble the batsmen early on. And last night, if you saw that Trent Bolt moved the ball, and first over he took 2 wickets, then Bumrah came up with 4 wickets. So I was very happy that to see that this year actually bowlers had a chance, and maybe there was no crickets on the wickets of any part of the world. Wickets were fresh also, and evenings, as I told you in our first program, that wickets will get better as it will go, because winters are arriving and it don't get cold as north of India. but Abu Dhabi and Dubai does get little colder in this part of year. So I was very happy to see the kind of cricket and the level of cricket has been played this year, and a lot of Indian youngsters done well this year, especially. So I'm very happy that the guys who are going to Australia tour, they will have certain amount of confidence to go ahead in that series. So quite happy to see all these things, and another 3 games to go.
Yes, absolutely. Another 3 games to go. And if we look at it, my co-founder of Playwright, Chitranjan Agarwal, is reminding me on the chat that even Tour de France took place. That is a cycling mega event. So lots of events have taken place in the world. And yes, BCCI has pulled off this event, and I think all the franchisees have taken it very seriously. And it has actually been a very evenly matched IPL. If you look at it, very few teams really shot away. Like Mumbai was the only one which looked very, very comfortable. Even Delhi, which came second till the last match, was not even sure. And if you look at it, the bottom three teams, Kings 11 Punjab, Chennai, and Rajasthan Royals, each won 6 matches out of 14. That is, they won 6 and lost 8. And the middle three teams, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and KKR, they won 7 and lost 7 each. And the top two, that is Mumbai, won 9 and lost 5. Delhi Capitals won 8 and lost 6. Very evenly matched IPL, to say the least. So we are going to start in reverse order, and VRV was not a number 11 batsman, I'm sure, but we will start with the number bottom of the table. We will start with Rajasthan Royals. And Rajasthan Royals shone in patches. There was Steve Smith not doing very well. There was very amazing talent, and this amazing talent of IPL came through. But I'll leave it to Vijay to assess RR and see how Rajasthan Royals did in this tournament. I think their foreign batting, I mean, the batting of Ben Stokes and Joss Butler and Steve Smith, was not fully utilized, according to me. And the Indian talent of Sanju Samson was also not really as consistent as it should have been. He should have been. So over to you, Vijay.
Yeah, I think you have said it rightly. Batsmen did not click, especially you expected the foreign recruits, that is the foreign players. They should have taken the mantle. They did. Steve Smith did come up with an innings up to Ben Stokes. Also, he came into the squad late. Sanju Samson was not consistent. He started off so brilliantly, but then they discovered a good all-rounder, I would say, in Tevatia. And
Yes.
then they had Jofra Archer serving the squad
Yeah,
so well, so consistently bowling with fire and
yeah,
one man show. I mean, at times it seemed he was bowling alone. So
yeah,
balanced, but there were issues of combination.
yeah.
VRB, what do you think? Jofra Archer was probably one of the most consistent bowlers in the tournament, although he didn't reach the heights of Rabada or Bumrah in terms of wickets. But he is
Yeah.
the most difficult to get away. And if I can ask you a slightly technical question, I mean, with minimum of run up and effort, he generates a lot of pace and a lot of accuracy. What is the secret behind Jofra Archer?
Yeah, I guess after Wasim Akram, we are seeing someone who is bowling quick from that run up, and he's very deceptive, short run up, and his I can say that the flick of the hand which he had at the last moment, that actually helps him a lot. That gives him a deceptive bouncer, especially when he bowls the deceptive bouncer, which he bowls. None of the batsmen actually gets that idea that whatever is going to do. But initially, the in cutter he bowls, and which is very heartening to see after so long. Someone is bowling at 150 and bowling in cutters, and many batsmen gets bluff also in that. And see, he looks very fit. I never saw him in person, but he looks very fit, and he had a cricket behind him. He played test matches in England this summer, so I guess he had that bowling was behind him, and he that was helping him a lot, because other people were coming, just from the home, from the quarantine and all the things, but especially England cricketers were coming, or West Indies cricketers were coming out of cricket. So especially his run up, I would say his run up helps him a lot, because that's very smooth, and his, if you see, his jump is also very balanced. So as I said, his back of the hand flick, it helps him a lot, which is very deceptive. I only see to have only seen Wasim Akram, who was that deceptive at that pace. So
I
I guess
agree with
this
you.
is, yeah.
I,
And the other thing
I
which I also
totally.
want to tell about, I also want to say about Rajasthan Royals, they had a different setup of openers in all these 14 games. So early on, that young guy Jaiswal played. In between, Robin also came, and Ben Stokes also played as opener. So they didn't
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that opening setup that which were giving him a good base early on. So I guess this was also one of the point of Rajasthan.
I think so. I also feel that Joss Butler should have opened because he was not keeping wicket, so he could have been utilized up the order. And I
Yes.
also feel that Tewatia and Rian Parag did well to shine whenever they did, but it was
Yeah.
too much to depend on them. And Tewatia
Yeah.
actually won them an amazing, most exciting match in the middle
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
tournament or beginning of the tournament. But going
Yes.
quickly to Chennai Super Kings because we have to discuss all the teams. So, see, sorry. CSK had a very, very surprisingly poor tournament, and at one point it seemed that they can't win a match. And they were so poor that it didn't seem like CSK. So, was it the aging army, Vijayji, or was it other reasons? In one match, they won by 10 wickets when Watson and Faf du Plessis entered to victory, but otherwise, they were not that consistent. Only in the last 3 or 4 matches, they came back looking like CSK with Ruturaj Gaikwad being a very amazing talent. I was so happy to see him back. What do you feel?
Yeah, see, I think they started on a wrong note, COVID cases, and then they started on a wrong note with Suresh Raina pulling out, Harbhajan not available. So these two setbacks, it's very difficult when you start the tournament knowing well that you're not at your best and you're losing probably, arguably, the best batsman you had. Raina is one of the icon players of
Yeah.
IPL, and the fact that Dhoni was not at his best, he was leading the side well. He tried to motivate them. He was always, he was saying, he was putting up a smile even in adversity. So, but his form with the bat was questionable, or maybe it caused a worry for CSK, and nothing worked for them. Watson was inconsistent. Bravo
Yeah.
was inconsistent. Faf was inconsistent. And then you look at somebody like Ruturaj Gaikwad. I mean, he is such a talented cricketer. He got very few opportunities, and so I think it was a combination of poor form, poor selection, bad luck. Because CSK to me is probably the favorite team of every IPL. It begins every
Yes.
IPL as the favorite team, and this time they must have learned their lessons well for them to come back strongly next year with Dhoni at the helm. I'm expecting Dhoni to continue with the CSK, and he has announced also. He said he will be there. So many lessons for them to be learned, and
VRV
heartbreaking for
any?
their fans.
Yes, heartbreaking. VRV any thoughts on CSK?
Yes, and also one name we missed, Kedar Jadhav, because I guess middle order have a lot of work to do, like Surya Kumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya at lower order is doing for Mumbai Indians, and Kedar Jadhav was looking totally out of sorts.
Uh,
I guess I don't know what was the reason, but I guess he had to perform well, and if he's coming again for next IPL, I guess he need to get better for next IPL because he is currently playing for India, so he needs to step up.
In fact,
I
I'll
think,
also add the name of the only true sparkle for them was Ravinder Jadeja. I mean,
yeah,
with the bat, he's shone in so many matches, and I've seen him play 30 runs in 10 balls, 28 in 9 balls. I mean, he's hitting
Yeah.
sixes after six. And even for India, if you remember in the World Cup semi-final, which we lost to New Zealand last year, when Dhoni got tragically run out, Jadeja made 70 something. And even in New Zealand, he had won us matches. So his late order batting, although his bowling was not really up to that mark.
Yeah.
Coming to Kings 11 Punjab now, and that is VRV's former team. So we'll toss the ball to VRV first and then to Vijayji. So VRV Punjab, what really goes wrong with them every time? This time they finish sixth in the table, and they are quite consistent in finishing about sixth in the table. So I mean, is it that they are not playing as a team? Is that the reason? Because they always had good players, and this time Rahul and Mayank were top of the batting charts, but they could not win matches.
Yeah, that was Rahul and Mayank was doing well, but they didn't had anyone who can take up for later overs or someone like who can finish well. But when they included, I guess Gale, he supported them well. So when when they had the, early on they got out, or someone got out early on. I guess Gale was the key factor. I guess he should have started earlier also. And I guess Arshdeep came quite late also in the season. He was doing well for the Kings and middle of the IPL. So I guess they had a good bowling attack, good two young leg spinners, and but they were missing someone with Shami who can bowl well from other side also. But they were putting a good batting show throughout the IPL, and I guess the uh, Gale and Arshdeep should have been included earlier, and maybe points table they would have been different if they would have played earlier,
Right.
because they were doing very well after they were included.
And Vijayji, Anil Kumble as the coach, I mean, he brought in some freshness. They won 5 matches in a row, but it was too much, too far, too late for them.
See, the Anil Kumble thing was stamp was very much there. He used the spinners very well, and you
Yeah.
see both the spinners have stood out. But I think you make. I don't know if it will be unfair for me to point out that one shot by Mayank Agarwal with the 1 run to win of 2 balls. I can understand if there were 4 runs to win of 1 ball,
Mhm.
you play that shot. But you had only 1 run to win, and he was in there. He should have finished the game. He did not. He played that full toss into the hands of a fielder, and then next ball they lost a wicket, so it went into the
Super
super
over.
over. And
Yeah.
they did not recover. They may have won 5 matches in a row, which was what the potential was of Kings 11 Punjab. It was the team to beat this time, if you ask me. They had the most exciting opening pair, KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. But fine. I mean, if they did not make it, like it happens, they'll come back. They should come back strongly next year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also, Punjab, somehow, if you look at the teams, there are two teams which represent states, Rajasthan Royals and King 11 Punjab. Somehow, I feel that they should also represent cities. VRV, they should be Kings 11 Chandigarh, I feel. Because all 6 other teams are, Chennai, Bangalore, Bombay. So maybe their fortunes will change if they represent Chandigarh. But Punjab ka hi capital hai. They're not taking anything away from Punjab.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
that's on the lighter side. But Kolkata also, so near and so yet so far. I mean, Kolkata often disappoints. And Owen Morgan, I have great admiration for him. He's the coolest cricketer, always smiling, always thinking positively. In the last crucial match, he made 60 odd of 30 balls and captaining very well. But Dinesh Karthik, initially, his batting really flopped. His captaincy also suffered. I think while having great players, and Andre Russell was also injured during the tournament. So perhaps that affected them. What do you feel, Vijayji?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Russell factor was very important. I mean, if you see, he's one man who can muscle his way to a victory single-handedly. That was important. Uh, Dinesh Karthik not getting runs, pressure on captaincy definitely weighed on his mind and on the team also. The change in captaincy did bring in some good results. Morgan is a class act. There's no doubt about that. But the team somehow lacked that drive. I mean, it was hard to accept that this was a two-time winner of IPL. They had some selection issues, but I don't think they were at their best at any point.
VRV?
Yeah,
Kolkata?
even their bowling doesn't looks very not really good at that mark. I guess Sunil Narayan, after changing his action, he has lost that zip, I guess, and he's not able to doing what Rashid Khan is doing for SRH. So he
Yes.
was very effective couple of years back before changing his action, and even their fast bowling was not that experienced. Mavi, Nagarkoti, I don't remember third one. Later on, that Ferguson came up, but
Okay.
I guess their bowling was quite inexperienced, and secondly, Sunil Narayan was quite disappointing regarding his bowling. I don't see any zip in his bowling, and they're trying to set him in the team because he bats well. But I guess they need a proper bowlers who can take wickets and win the matches for them.
I think so. I think if Lockie Ferguson plays from the beginning in the next IPL, he might prove to be hot to handle. In one of the
Yeah,
days when we had only super overs, then Shami and Lockie Ferguson, their bowling actually won the super overs. And actually, super
Yes, yes.
overs are more about the bowler than about the batsman that I have discovered in
Yeah,
this IPL.
yeah,
So now we come to RCB, and RCB finally is into the last four, scraped through in fourth position. At one point, they also were topsy turvy. And Virat Kohli, while being consistent, was not in blazing form. However, he did make enough runs. And even Padikkal emerged as a very effortless left-hander at the top of the order. And AB de Villiers hasn't really set the tournament afire, but he played two or three electrifying innings. So, Vijayji, what do you think they need to do to further improve RCB?
I think tonight is the game for Virat Kohli to explode. I mean, like you said, he has been there, but he is a kind of cricketer, player, batsman who can assume charge at any point. And this is the stage for him to click. There is pressure of him. His fans expect him to win the title. Twice they've lost in the finals. They have. I hope Navdeep Saini, if he has recovered, he will be an asset. He has been an asset right through. Siraj has bowled well. He has
yeah.
managed to bowl well, and Padikkal has batted as good as anyone else in this tournament. And if someone like Padikkal, De Villiers, Virat Kohli, they do their job, I think it shouldn't be difficult for RCB to look at winning the title for the first time ever.
VRV, any other value addition to this RCB?
Yes, definitely. De Villiers, Chahal, Kohli, and Siraj and Navdeep Saini. If they want to win the IPL this year, so both five of them has to prove their worth in next two games because they are very important. And Chahal needs support from other end because he bowls 4 over 20 runs, 15 runs, 2 wickets, 3 wickets. But other side, sometimes they lack that experience or good bowling from other end. So I guess definitely everyone knows De Villiers and Virat what they can do. So definitely, if they all fire 5 6 guys, so they will be unstoppable. What actually Mumbai Indians are doing, they are firing actually from all departments.
All departments. That's right. And
Yeah,
in fact, it's very sad sometimes in the IPL to see someone like Dale Steyn being hit out of the attack in two matches he played, and then he has to sit out. And one of the very sad sides of IPL is to see a fading cricketer. Even Shane Watson
yeah,
has retired because many people they retire from international cricket and play IPL for another couple of years, but it's not the same. And even Glenn McGrath, I remember one IPL he was good, but the next IPL he didn't. Even Shane Warne, the great, had to sometime, wilt away. But
yes,
coming to the next teams now, it's Hyderabad, and Hyderabad is amazingly consistent in the last part of the tournament. They found Riddhiman Saha Vijayji, who's really changed the way cricket is being played at the top of the order. And I no less than Sachin Tendulkar in a tweet mentioned that I really enjoyed Saha's century. He played the most intelligent game, watching the ball and playing it late according to the length and line. So Saha and Warner, of course, and I really, really feel that Kane Williamson is a player for the big occasion. You never know that he may go on to win them more matches in the next today or the next match. So over to you, Vijay.
Yeah, I come from Hyderabad, so I think it is as dangerous team as any other. Much underrated actually. If you see, their coaches are low profile. Lashman likes to stay in the background, but I can tell you he must have worked very hard with Saha because he has always rated Saha very high, and I can see that the confidence with which Saha is batting has come definitely from all the hard work done behind the curtain by Lakshman and David Warner. Of course, he is one champion cricketer who inspires the team. His presence itself is so inspiring. But to me, Vivek ji and PRV, I think the impact that Rashid Khan has had on the
yeah,
tournament, on the spinners, the way he has, the way I mean, he brings such energy onto the field, and he brings such quality to his bowling, always attacking. He doesn't mind being hit. So I think that Rashid Khan factor has been the most crucial for Hyderabad.
BRV, I'd like
yeah,
to ask you a question about Hyderabad. You see, Johnny Bairstow is one of the most destructive opening batsmen in the world. He was doing well, not very well, but he was okay. But Jason Holder has come in his place, and of course, four foreign players are allowed. So Rashid Khan, Warner is there, Williamson is there. They can only play four. But Holder has done very well. So what do you think about Holder?
Yes, definitely he's underrated cricketer, but he's captain of West Indian Test team, and he took 6 wickets. I remember in first game of the summers in England. So I guess he bowls very well. He has high arm action. He gets that bounce, and he bowls very good Yorkers also from that height, which are very deceptive. And with him, you have Natarajan and Sandeep Sharma, not big names, but they are doing their work. And I am very glad to see that Saha is doing well, because he had few couple of rough years with his body. He had couple of hamstring injuries. I'm happy to see that guy is doing well, and he's giving selector to look him up for shorter formats also. So I'm very happy for him also. And yeah, so as you said, Holder is doing well because of his height, and his batting also is very very useful. He contributes to 20-30 runs in a quick time. So he's very useful cricketer. And SRH is also playing as a team right now, and they are doing together very well. So they are very favorites also to win the
I
IPL.
would also say that today they might be slightly favorite over Bangalore.
Yeah,
And also, I think
yeah,
that Sandeep Sharma and Natarajan, you rightly mentioned, they have been the
yeah,
surprise package for Hyderabad, especially
yeah,
since Bhuvneshwar got injured. Sandeep has stepped in very well into his shows. And
yeah,
our Siddharth Paul could also not get a game, but I
yeah,
think that it has been wonderful how they have played. But coming to
yeah.
wicketkeeper batsmen like Saha, now we come to Delhi, and I feel that Rishabh Pant has been a letdown this season for Delhi, Vijayji. And if
Hmm.
Rishabh Pant had shone like he used to in IPL for the last few years, I think something to do with his confidence also. He dropped from the Indian team also in the middle. And now in the test team, he will be the number two keeper to Australia, I'm sure. Saha has to take the precedence. So Delhi Capitals overall, they were very consistent in the beginning, but very losing very consistently towards the end of the tournament. What has gone wrong and what must they do? Vijayji?
You have said it very beautifully. SRH, well served by Saha, wicketkeeper batsman, and Delhi Capitals struggling because their wicketkeeper batsman is not making runs. And for especially for Pant, this is the platform which he's suited for this platform. He is a one. He is a very explosive batsman, a very fearless batsman. It is both. I think a combination of loss of confidence. There is no doubt about it. You can see it on his face, and
Yes.
also I think fitness issues. I don't know if he's at his best in terms of fitness. And I like him. I mean, he's one very exciting cricketer. He's come up the hard way. He's made a name for himself, two Test match hundreds overseas. So I think this again should teach him to understand and grab the opportunities. And yes, he'll be playing second fiddle to Saha. He is not the first. He's not there for the white ball cricket. But early lessons for him. It's very early in his career. He's still many years of cricket left in him. I don't think. I hope he learns and is not lost to cricket.
Yeah.
Right. And VRV, you see, three of the Delhi batsmen are actually Mumbai batsmen from Mumbai. And they are not really doing as well as they were in the beginning of the tournament. You see that Prithvi Shaw or Shreyas Iyer is still okay. He's doing well. Of course, Shikhar Dhawan hit 2 centuries, but now he's from Delhi and he's slightly slipping. So I think it is very important. Rahane is also did well in one match with a 60 odd, but something has gone wrong with their batting. And also Rabada and Nautya, the South African fast bowlers, are not as consistent as they were in the beginning, and they are quite quick, but they are not able to penetrate as much as they were in the beginning.
Yeah, I
We
guess
are
it's been a long tournament. I guess it's been a long tournament. I guess fast bowlers are little tired. I have, if you see them sometimes, because last night, if you see, Ishan Kishan, the way he hit, these fast bowlers all around the park. So I really felt they should have tried, some different variations, I guess. And plus, batting, definitely Shikhar done well. 2 centuries, definitely no one has done. I guess no one has done. And secondly, then he scored 50 last game again. But I'm little disappointed with Prithvi Shaw. He's very young guy, and he's in the Test side and scored already Test century for India. So I feel he should have, you know, little bit more performance and bit of more, more into the fielding, I guess. Also is looking, when you see him, he's also looking a bit disappointed also when he goes into for the batting or in the field also. He looks a bit disappointed. So I guess he needs to step up with the Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant, maybe after he's not been included in other formats of Indian
Yeah.
team for Australia tour, he also looks little down. But as from other side, we are talking about Saha and Rishabh Pant. I want to say one more name, that is Ishan Kishan. That guy
Yes.
is also at that same point. I feel he's at same level also. He is winning games for Mumbai Indians now. So I feel Rishabh Pant, Prithvi Shaw, and Shreyas Iyer is doing a great captaincy. I must say that he is looking after their players very well. And when you see if you even last game he did captaincy very well. And I guess he has a future of a leader also, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. And he's a very good
Yeah,
batsman to play in the middle order, maybe even in
yeah,
Test cricket. Which
yeah.
brings me to Mumbai, and Mumbai is on top of their game. They have Bumrah and Bolt. If they had been in one country, I think they could have bowled out any test sides together. Bumrah with his accuracy and pace and Yorker and bouncer, and Trent Bolt with his movement on his day is unplayable. We know that. He has taken 6 wickets at a stretch at times, even in the World Cup last year. These two have served them very well. And you rightly said Ishan Kishan, but the surprise, or even not surprise, he should be playing in the Indian team for a long time. Surya Kumar Yadav. Vijay ji, I
Yeah.
mean, Surya Kumar Yadav is probably no less talented or brilliant than any batsman in India at the moment. The way he's batting, absolutely brilliant. And on the whole, your views on Mumbai Indians?
Mumbai Indians, I think they've done nothing wrong except for that one match which they lost by 10 wickets. Otherwise, they've done nothing wrong. Like you said, when if you have Bolt and Bumrah opening, and you have somebody like Surya Kumar Yadav and Ishan Kishan, both, let me tell you, they are not newcomers. I'm not. Anyone who follows domestic cricket knows their exploits. Ishan is very young. He will definitely play for India. There is no doubt about it. And Surya Kumar Yadav, it will be unfortunate if he doesn't play for India because both amazingly talented cricketers. It is just that there is such competition, they have not been able to get in. But still, I still can't fathom how Surya Kumar Yadav doesn't find a place in 32. And as far as the whole combination is concerned, probably Rohit Sharma hasn't excelled as he should have. But Pollard, Pandya, the Pandya brothers, I mean, there is no weak link in Mumbai team. So if they win,
Absolutely.
you should be surprised. If they lose, you should be surprised.
Well said, very well said. Pandyas are also value addition in their team. And we would like you to talk also about Rohit Sharma a little bit. We are going to miss him in Australia. He's not in the team, so he seems half fit. And and then he left a few matches to Pollard, and Pollard's captaincy is different. I think he also needs to come back to form. And if he scores heavily at the top, then Mumbai will win the final also. So, VRV, over
I,
to you for Mumbai.
I guess he will step up, and he's a big match player. He scored enough runs, and already, I guess definitely he has some trouble with. I don't know what injury he has, but I feel that he will step up, and he knows the value of winning the IPL. They already done it few times earlier, and but I would like to say that Ishan Kishan and Pandya's contribution, especially last game and earlier also, that including Pollard, and the small contributions that the team score goes to 140, 150 to 200 straight away. So, they are very valuable. And plus, Surya Kumar Yadav, I can say he's the best form of his life. The way he
Absolutely.
shot, playing the shots, the confidence which he shows in the ground, and actually that kind of confidence sometimes bog down the bowler, because he's so confident. If you see in his body language, the way he walks now, so sometimes it's scary for the bowlers also. And he's playing very well. And as Vijay sir said, and that he should be in the Indian side, and he's doing very well. But because that kind of form, you know s- never comes often, so don't come
That's
often.
right.
So I feel that he is doing very well. And for the way they are playing, if they keep on playing like this for another 5 days, they will definitely win IPL easily.
Yeah, it's only one day that they have to win
Yeah.
now. And a quick
Yeah.
remark on the women's tournament also. I'll ask both of you to quickly because we're running out of time. We also have three teams there, and they are doing their best. We have some foreign cricketers also playing, as we saw in the matches. Chandigarh's Kashvi Gautam, who took 10 wickets in a match in the domestic season, is also part of one of the teams, though she didn't play. She's only 16 years old. But what do you
Yeah.
feel about this women's tournament, Vijayji, and then over to VRV after that?
Well, I think we should encourage them. This is a good platform. They work very hard, but in terms of athleticism, they're still far off. If you compare them with the rest of the world, Australia, England, there is a big gap between Australia, England, and then India. I mean, and this is not to run them down. This is not to discourage them. It is just that it should motivate them to reach that level. And I think they have it in them. We must support our women cricketers. And this is not the right platform for us to judge them, because they haven't had much of cricket to play. So I mean I'll have only good words for their hard work.
Yes. And VRV?
It is very heartening to see the women teams are playing over there also, and I feel BCCI is doing very well in and conducting the women's cricket over there, and so I feel it is very, and as you said, Kashvi Gautam, and I saw that girl in Chandigarh, and she is good fast bowler, and I hope she will do well and play for country also. But as Vijay sir said, so we need to look after women cricket very well as they get like more athletic. They should get more athletic, like UK girls or Australian girls. So I feel that kind of setup, if we help girls regarding their fitness, their diet regimes, and all these things, psychology side also very helps a lot, because in India women doesn't get participate in a lot of cricket also. So we need
Yeah.
to promote more cricket in grassroots level, and so they get more exposure and they feel comfortable when they go over there. So I feel it's a great initiative by BCCI, and good luck for women cricket. And I guess, and we have like players like Smriti and Harmanpreet, and so they are already playing in big bash leagues in Australia. So and we already have the big cricketers in women's side. So good luck to them and for their future also.
Thank you very much, VRV and Mr. Vijay Lokapally. Fantastic discussion. I think in about 35 to 40 minutes, we packed just like a 2020 game. We started with the slog overs and then we came to the closing 4 overs. Virender Sehwag was talking about Pandya brothers in the last 4 overs, and they are absolutely very destructive. So thank you very much. And I think the very fact that sport is happening after such a horrendous year, as Vijayji said in the beginning, the fact that IPL has happened is great. We might have the next IPL starting in April, May next year, so not far away. Hopefully things will be better and it will be played in India. But may sport go on and may life go on in happy conditions. So thank you once again, and we'll meet again on this platform once more for similar discussions. Thank you.
Th-
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.